I got that California, got that
One of the many topics that I always wanted to discuss on my channel before my 6 months hiatus was Majin Buu's early disappointing exit from the Tournament of Power. And by exit, I mean he totally never even had the chance to enter, which honestly really gave people, including myself, more reason to be annoyed that Frieza came back, given the fact that the only reason why he was brought back is Majin Buu's failure to be ready. At least that was from a narrative perspective. Of course, I do realize that Frieza redeems himself as a character in some way or another in the tournament by being that wild card. In addition, he did make some interesting partnerships with some team members. So I'm not blaming Frieza for this one, but I'm blaming Toei Animation, and I'm sort of exposing their lazy writing regarding Majin Buu's development at least. Now listen, this isn't a rant video by any means, it's simply a discussion video on why Buu was removed. Again, you have to remember this was a writing decision. I'm going to analyze the writing of why Majin Buu was removed. Because Majin Buu was clearly given the grounds to be a fighter in this competition. He was promoted months before the tournament even started in a lot of promotional material. He was a selling point like any other character. Toei Animation even bothered to show us a glimpse of how strong Majin Buu is in Dragon Ball Super, as we saw his fight against Basil, where he basically demonstrated how even when he's not taking it as seriously, he is still a top fighter, as he was able to take down one of the strongest fighters in Universe 9. We also saw Gohan showing development and a reason to train harder. In addition, we were shown a gauge of how Goku stands out compared to other fighters. So basically, the whole exhibition match that occurred between Universe 7 and Universe 9 was indeed an appetizer for what was yet to come. Moreover, it was a learning curve to Goku, Gohan, and yes, even Majin Buu, who uncharacteristically trained hard to reach his new physique. Sure, he looks pretty weird, like somebody trying to cosplay Super Buu, but hey, it was enough to convince me that he's good to go. Although, like we just said, Toei went a full 180 and did the same thing they did with Buu in the Universe 6 arc. They put the dude to sleep. And before you say, oh well, Majin Buu is always known to fall asleep, fuck you, it was a writing decision. If they wanted him awake, he would have been awake. Don't give me that BS. There was a narrative reason to why they didn't want him to wake up. In addition, they clearly saw Frieza as a much more marketable character. It was the money move. Don't believe me? Tell me what's the first Dragon Ball Super movie ever? Yep, it's a Broly movie. Now hey, listen, I'm not necessarily saying money was the only factor here. I wouldn't really fault a company for caring about their financial interests. However, I do actually believe there is a bigger reason at play. Thus, the writers simply put themselves in a very bad spot when they made Buu a team member. Why, you might ask? Some of you probably think Buu isn't even that strong, right? Wrong. Majin Buu could have been literally the most OP character in the tournament, and it's not about power level, but it's about one of his broken abilities. And to cut to the chase, I'm not going to bother mentioning his countless abilities. Only one ability should be mentioned, however, his healing powers, and I'm not talking about his regeneration, I'm actually talking about his ability to heal fighters from the brink of death. We saw Buu demonstrating this on many occasions where he healed Babidi's lower body after being cut in half. He healed a kid from blindness, something that I doubt Zenzo beans can even cure, as we saw they did nothing to Goku's heart disease. This implies his healing abilities have almost no limits. Now, big deal you might say, he can heal a few injuries, so what? If you actually remember, the whole point of the Tournament of Power, it's actually a survival battle royale. A huge element of the competition relies on the ability to pace yourself and conserve your energy. That's why Toei Animation stressed out the fact that Senzu beans are not an option, because they realized it would negate the need to hold back their strength, meaning the Tournament of Power would have ended much sooner. I mean, even the Goku Black arc, Toei made characters do dumb things like forgetting the Zenzu beans just so they can restrict Goku from using them. Therefore, the writers needed to remove Majin Buu from the competition before it even started. Otherwise, characters like Goku and Vegeta will have no reason to hold back. They can just go full power from the get-go and bust through everyone. And hey, if they suffer from any stamina issues or any injuries, Buu would immediately heal them. And that's also not counting Majin Buu's other techniques. Majin Buu would have been able to absorb a lot of pressure from other fighters. He's the perfect teammate. Of course, some of you might foolishly comment down below that Majin Buu isn't strong enough to even hold his own. I want you to take a second and realize how dumb that comment would be. If Toei wanted Majin Buu to be strong, he would. And guess what they did? They did give him a power boost, just like they gave Android 17 an insane, ridiculous power boost with no actual reason. And guess what? You probably accepted it. I found a lot of people that tried to defend and justify Android 17's ridiculous power boost. I saw also people trying to justify how Krillin was able to match Goku's Super Saiyan Blue Kamehameha. And yes, I do realize that Goku was holding back, like, no shit, obviously he was. But the whole point is that Toei Animation has this consistent pattern of doing these inconsistencies when it comes to power scaling and power levels. So if you can accept all the stuff that Toei Animation did, I have no idea why people would reject the idea that Majin Buu would get stronger. But hey, just because I'm saying this doesn't mean I'm saying Frieza shouldn't have competed in the tournament, even though I dislike the way he was brought back. We could have had both, to be honest, and the truth is, Toei didn't, because Majin Buu would negate the whole excuse of Goku and Vegeta holding back. He can always heal them. In addition, Majin Buu displayed on several occasions that he can adapt in fights and even learn new techniques while fighting. I'm honestly kind of sad that Toei didn't take the time to find a way to integrate him in the tournament. Surely, if they cared enough, they could have made it possible for him to feature. I would have loved to see Buu and Frieza interact, or see the reactions of the other universe fighters when they challenge him. So much unexplored potential, to be honest. But hey, they made their decision regarding taking him out, but I just wish they didn't give us so much false expectations. I think most people wouldn't have had much of an issue to begin with. We would be like, yeah, sure, Buu wasn't called up. Anyways, I really did not intend this to be a negative video in any ways, but I just can't help but rant when I see people give Toei way too many excuses and try to explain and pad their lazy writing. Just because you love something doesn't mean you can't criticize it. My aim in this video is to highlight the true reason behind Buu's absence, and regretfully, I can't mention that reason without counter-argue some of the common things we hear. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, then please like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.